Hello and welcome to Simple English Talk. If you're feeling tired, stuck, or on the edge of giving up, this message is for you. In this video, you'll not only improve your English through listening, but you'll also hear a voice of encouragement, a voice that reminds you of your strength, your purpose, and your ability to keep going no matter what. This isn't just a lesson. It's a journey into your own resilience, told in simple, beautiful English to help you grow, both in language and in life. If this message touches you, please take a moment to subscribe to Simple English Talk and share this video with someone who needs to hear it too. Let's begin. There is a moment in life when the walls begin to close in and the air feels heavier with every breath you try to take. You sit alone, not just in the room, but inside your thoughts, surrounded by memories of who you used to be and the dreams that once kept you awake at night with excitement, not fear. Now, those same dreams lie somewhere behind you, hidden under dust and silence. The world keeps moving, people keep talking, but you feel stuck, as if time has slowed down just for you, not to give you a break, but to let you feel the weight of everything you've carried for too long. You look at your hands, fingers slightly trembling, and wonder how they've held on through so many quiet battles. They've written goals that never came true. They've gripped the edges of desks while holding back tears. They've folded into prayer when no one else saw. But now they feel tired, not because you're weak, but because no one can carry mountains every day without resting. You feel like speaking, like screaming even, but no sound comes out. There's a tightness in your chest, not physical but emotional, like something has wrapped itself around your heart and won't let go. You think about giving up, not in a loud or dramatic way, but in that quiet way that scares you more. The kind of giving up that doesn't even need words, just stillness, just silence. You begin to ask yourself if maybe this is just how things end, not with a decision, but with slow surrender. You think back to the person you were, the one who believed, who tried, who stood up after falling again and again, and you wonder where they went. Were they defeated? Did the rejections, the failures, the endless almosts kill that part of you? Then, in the middle of all that darkness, something happens. Not outside you, but inside. A whisper. So quiet that if you weren't listening closely, you might miss it. It's not a voice you recognize from the world around you. It's older, deeper, and it doesn't sound afraid. It says only this: don't give up. No shouting, no long speech, just 3 words. But those words feel like light cutting through a long, sleepless night. That whisper doesn't promise anything easy. It doesn't say things will change tomorrow. But it reminds you that something inside you is still alive. That the fire, though buried, is not gone. That maybe, just maybe, you're not done yet. And so you breathe. One more breath. You don't need a plan. You don't need to fix everything right now. You just need to listen to that whisper and stand up again. Because sometimes, true courage is not found in winning, but in simply refusing to stay down. Sometimes, we dream of moments that will change everything. A breakthrough, a sign, something powerful enough to lift us out of struggle and place us into a life we barely dared to imagine. We imagine success arriving like a wave, washing away all the doubts, the insecurities, the failures. But more often than not, that moment never comes in the way we expect. Because transformation isn't loud. It doesn't come wrapped in bright lights or applause. It arrives quietly, wearing the clothes of repetition, humility, and small effort. You wake up, and for 1 second, you consider staying in bed. but something inside you chooses otherwise. You sit up. That is a step. You open a book. You write one sentence. You listen to a short podcast in English, even though your mind is still tired. That is another step. You mispronounce a word and feel embarrassed, but you try again anyway. That is a step too. They seem meaningless when viewed alone, too small to matter, but each one is a brick in the foundation of something extraordinary. You do not need to conquer the language in a day. You do not need to be fluent next month. You only need to begin and continue, even when progress feels invisible, even when no one praises your effort, even when it looks like others are advancing faster. You are not in a race. You are in a process. And this process respects those who are patient, the ones who show up again and again, not because they see instant results, but because they believe in the invisible work happening within them. Every time you repeat a word, every time you write a sentence, every time you make the choice to listen instead of quitting, you are growing, even when you don't feel it. Learning is often silent. It happens below the surface. Like a seed, it spends time hidden before it ever shows a sign of life. But that doesn't mean it's not working. It is. And so are you. It's easy to compare your journey with others, but you don't know how many quiet steps they've taken before you noticed their progress. Behind every fluent speaker is a history of small efforts, forgotten mistakes, and private struggles. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to grow slowly. What matters is that you move. And that movement, however small, is your strength. So when you feel like you're not getting anywhere, remember this. Every mountain is climbed one step at a time. Every transformation begins with the courage to begin again. You don't need to make a leap today. Just take a step, and let tomorrow hold your next. Most people see the polished version of others. They see the confidence, the smooth conversation, the perfect pronunciation, and assume it was always that way. But they don't see the hours spent alone, staring at a sentence that just doesn't make sense. They don't see the hesitation before speaking up in class, the racing heart before saying something out loud in a new language. They don't feel the silence after a mistake, the feeling of shame that lingers longer than it should. Most people don't know what it takes to keep trying when no one is watching and no one is cheering. And that kind of loneliness can make you wonder if it's worth it. You may feel invisible sometimes. You may feel like your effort is small, unnoticed, and unimportant. But what the world doesn't see still matters. You are growing in ways that cannot be measured by test scores or certificates. You are building character in the quietest parts of your life. While others scroll, you study. While others laugh at broken grammar, you continue to speak. While others give up, you whisper to yourself, one more time. That persistence, that quiet courage, is the true work of transformation. There is no reward for most of what you do. No one gives you a medal for listening to an English podcast when you're tired. No one applauds you for writing down 5 new words every day. But that doesn't make it meaningless. In fact, it's the invisible work that shapes the visible result. The strength to keep going when no one notices you is what separates those who only dream from those who actually build. Yes, you will get frustrated. Yes, you will forget things you thought you had mastered. Yes, you will hear others speak better than you and feel behind. But none of that defines you. What defines you is that you don't give up. What defines you is the way you choose to show up, again and again, no matter how slow the progress feels. You are not weak for struggling. You are strong for continuing. You are not just learning a language. You are learning how to handle failure without losing hope. You are learning how to stand up after falling. You are learning how to be kind to yourself in moments of doubt. And those lessons will stay with you longer than any grammar rule. The world may never fully understand your journey, but that's okay. You don't need permission to be proud of yourself. Let others see the results someday. Let them be amazed by how far you've come. But you will always know the truth. That before the fluency, before the confidence, before the praise, there was a struggle. And in that struggle, there was you. Quiet, brave, and unstoppable. There is a voice inside you that existed long before the world gave you names or titles or expectations. It was there before you learned what it meant to succeed or fail, before you felt the sting of comparison or the weight of doubt. This voice didn't come from outside. It was not planted by teachers or parents or friends. It is older than that, deeper. It is the sound of your own soul whispering its truth. You may have forgotten it. Life has a way of drowning out the most important sounds. The voice of your soul is quiet, and in a world of noise, quiet things are often overlooked. You've been told who you are and who you're not. You've been told what you can and cannot do. Slowly, those voices layered themselves over your own, until you began to believe that they were yours, that you were small, that you were not enough, that you were late, that you were behind. And yet, even under all that noise, your voice remained. Waiting. It speaks not in demands, but in stillness. Not in fear, but in faith. It tells you that you were created with purpose, that your presence here matters, that the pain you've carried is not a prison, but a path. When everything around you says stop, give up, or stay silent, this voice dares to say move forward, rise again, speak your truth. It is not arrogant. It is not afraid. It is love speaking in your own language. The problem is never that this voice is gone. It is only that you've forgotten how to listen. Listening does not require perfection. It does not need silence in the room, only stillness in the heart. You begin by breathing, deeply, slowly, not to escape life, but to return to it. In that breath, something shifts. You remember that you are not just here to perform or impress. You are here to grow, to learn, to unfold. And you do not need permission for that. You already have everything you need inside you. When you feel afraid to try again, listen for that voice. When you doubt your ability to learn or speak or belong, return to that voice. It does not criticize. It does not compare. It simply reminds you of who you are beneath all the pressure. You are not the test score. You are not the mistake. You are not the slow learner. You are a soul in progress, and your path is sacred. There is a reason you are still here, a reason you keep going. That reason may not be clear now, but the voice inside you knows. Let it guide you, not because the road is easy, but because it is yours. And no one can walk it for you. No one can replace the quiet wisdom already alive in your chest. Be still. Breathe. Begin again. This time, not from fear, but from the truth that was in you all along. You are stronger than you think. You may not feel it every day, but the strength is there. In the choices you make, in the effort you give, in the way you keep showing up even when no one's watching. You have faced things that others would never understand. You have been knocked down, laughed at, misunderstood, ignored, and still you rise, again and again. And that, more than anything else, is what makes you powerful. Learning English is not just about learning vocabulary or grammar rules. It's about endurance. It's about faith. Faith in yourself when everything around you tells you it's too hard, too late, or not worth it. You will fail sometimes. You will forget words. You will make mistakes. You will feel stuck. But the ones who succeed are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who fall 100 times and rise one more. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when your mind is tired, your confidence is low, and progress feels like a lie. Those are the days that count the most. Anyone can move forward when things are easy, but real growth happens when everything hurts and you choose to continue anyway. That is where your future is shaped, not in comfort, but in persistence. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to speak like a native. You don't have to impress anyone. All you have to do is keep going, keep listening, keep learning, keep trying. Every time you open your mouth and speak, even if the words aren't perfect, you are breaking fear. Every time you sit down and study when you'd rather give up, you are building a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more alive. Most people give up too soon. They stop just before the breakthrough. But you, if you choose to stay in the process, you will see things change. Not because of magic, but because of your daily decisions. Progress does not reward speed. It rewards consistency. And you are capable of being consistent. Even when it's hard. Even when you're tired. Even when no one claps for you. You don't need to rush. You just need to keep moving. Bit by bit. Step by step. Day by day. Because in the end, it's not about how fast you reach your goal. It's about who you become in the process. And you, right now, are becoming someone unstoppable. So let the world doubt you. Let the fear whisper. Let the struggle challenge you. But don't let any of it stop you. There's something inside you that is greater than the pain, stronger than the fear, and louder than the doubt. That something is your will, your fire, your truth. Whatever comes next, hold on to this one promise. Never give up. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You're still here, and that means something. You've listened, you've reflected, and perhaps in some quiet way, you've started to believe again. Remember, learning English, or anything worthwhile, is not just about the mind. It's about the heart, the courage, the persistence. So keep going. Your journey matters. If this video inspired you, don't forget to follow Simple English Talk and share it with others who might need the same reminder. Never give up. See you in the next video.